Hey guys, welcome back to World of Warships. Today we're taking a look at a ship that I can pretty much guarantee you forgot existed in World of Warships. I know I certainly did. Vallejo is a tier 9 American premium light cruiser. This ship is available for steel. 21,500 steel gets you a lower DPM than Seattle light cruiser without radar and without a hydro. What you get instead is much faster shell velocity, so it's easier to lead our targets at these longer ranges, as well as a fast cooldown on this spotter plane, allowing us to almost always have it available. This gets us out to 18.8 kilometers of range, and that is usable range. I would not say having range mod on Seattle or something like a Worcester is that usable. At 18 kilometers, they have like a 16-second flight time. Very difficult to lead at those ranges, so we go reload mod as usual on those ships. But with Vallejo, with this plane up, we have a 12.5-second flight time out to 18 kilometers. Still not easy to lead, but much more viable. And this also allows us to run reload mod normally and still be able to play into some of those unfortunate up tiers, shall we say, into those super ship games. This ship, though, has essentially no utility. It was very weird playing this ship again and not having access to a radar or a hydro, as we'll see throughout this battle. Once you get it into a good position, though, to just use the damage output, it's going to do pretty well. I will say, though, it is a very weird ship to get for steel. Yes, it is different than what we get out of the tech tree light cruisers on the American side of things, but I do miss out having on that radar. That is a big advantage that those cruisers get, and Vallejo does not bring that to the table. One other thing we have as a Vallejo, though, is our deck armor. It's actually 38 millimeters of deck armor, not the upper belt. That's still overmatchable. Bow, stern, still overmatchable. It's still large exposed citadel. We only heal back 10% citadel repair. That's like battleship level. So if you take a citadel, it is going to hurt. But having 38 mil deck armor, that's the same as high tier American battleships. That's like what Montana gets. That's what Maine gets all the way up at super battleships tier. Iowa gets that as well. So really nice to have that on a cruiser. Allows us to play open water range, take some battleship fire, assuming that at longer ranges, it's going to be plunging fire. We can actually bounce those shells, which is very, very useful, again, into those up tiers. Vallejo is more of just a standard farming cruiser, and it does a pretty good job of that. I know I'm comparing it to Seattle and DPM-wise. We get 216,000 HE DPM out of Vallejo. Seattle's all the way up at 243,000. But if we compare to other ships that are very focused on just pure damage output and less on their radar utility, that sort of thing, more focused on longer range farming potential, think about ships like, say, Suzia, which is a very powerful tier 9 premium. That one's all the way up at 234,000 HE DPM, but much worse shell velocity, as well as I think it's a lot squishier, okay? Been playing that one a little bit recently, as I think it's coming back in a update or two. Perhaps it's already back, depending on when you're watching this video. And yeah, that ship just absolutely explodes. Vallejo has a little bit more tankiness. Perhaps we could compare it to some more standard DPM cruisers that want to play at these medium to long ranges, sometimes do some open water things, don't have utility. What about a Rune, for example? That's about as vanilla as it gets. I know it's got more pen, it's got higher caliber guns, but with IFHE here, we're getting up over 32 millimeters, which is very nice. Rune, though, only has 128,000 HE DPM, which is nearly 100k less than Vallejo. I know there's some differences still, but just thinking about some HE farming cruisers at this tier. What about a Buki? That's also pretty vanilla, 152,000 HE DPM. We're at 216, so this ship is still very, very powerful in the damage output department, and it's very easy to use these arcs is the other thing. Sure, we often talk about hitting DPM when it comes to secondary ships because, well, you're not really in control of those secondaries and they have terrible dispersion, so that matters a lot. But I think when it comes to high DPM cruisers, you could also think of hitting DPM in regards to their shell velocity. It's a lot easier to land shells at these long ranges with a Vallejo. So even if we have slightly less DPM than, say, we would on a Seattle, it's just so much easier to land those shells that our effective DPM, I think, is quite a bit higher. And, well, I mean, this poor tier 8 cruise, it's not fair to fight 2 tiers lower than us, I know, but look at how fast this poor guy got absolutely melted. Vallejo's a good ship still, but I still don't think I would recommend that you actually get this ship. It's a curiosity of mine to actually just check out Vallejo again and see what it is like. I just never ever see this ship in the matchmaker queue. I think for good reason, okay? Plenty of reasons that we have already discussed. Cost, the type of resource, the lack of utility. It makes a lot of sense to me, but it's very interesting to actually take a look at some of these obscure ships in the game that nobody seems to play, because they can still do well. Just because it can do well doesn't mean it's going to be meta-defining, but I suppose it's just a curiosity of mine that I had to see what Vallejo is all about. The playstyle really fits well in with these DPM cruisers that don't have utility. We're not going for every single island to farm from behind, especially the ones that are very close to cap zones, like I would be doing with a Seattle, with a Worcester, with the Cleveland line, for example, because we don't have that radar utility. Here in the late game, where there is a destroyer that is stalling us out on the cap, I have no way of spotting him, right? I don't even know where his torps might be coming from. So, well, I know where they might be coming from, but we don't have the way of spotting them, so we can easily dodge them, I guess, is what we could say. It's very weird to play a ship like this one, but I do think it's a skill set that is worth playing, and honestly, just go play the Rune Hindenburg line. So much better. All the mid-tier cruisers grinding towards the higher tier ones that get the heals now. It's really, really nice. So this is not an experience that you necessarily need to have, but very, very fun to have a higher shell velocity version of a Worcester gun, I suppose, is what we could say with these. The turret traverse is a lot faster than what we see on Seattle. The base reload is 6.1 seconds, where Worcester is 4.6 seconds. That's where a lot of that DPM difference is coming from, because the shells are just the exact same as what we get on the Worcester as well as Seattle. It's that reload difference, as well as we only get 10 guns. Notice how there's only 2 turrets in the back, rather than the 3 that we would see on the Worcester. But we get some nice firing angles too. I should mention that as well. The Seattle almost has comically bad firing angles. 32 degree forward, 32 degree backwards on a ship like Vallejo makes it able to play this role a lot easier. Seattle is 33 degrees forward, but to fire all of your guns when you're in a kited position takes 48 degrees of broadside. Reminder, Cleveland has like 25 degree forward and rear firing angles or something like that, and has the same DPM as the Seattle now, and has the heals. So it's just a better version of Seattle. That ship is in a bit of a tough spot. A lot of tier 9 cruisers are in a pretty tough spot, to be fair. Vallejo probably also fits that bill, but has a little bit of the armor to sometimes stand up to those battleships. Not that we want to, as when we're firing all of our main guns like this, deck armor doesn't matter quite so much, right? They're often going to be hitting our large upper belt, or even possibly that Citadel, which again, we do not heal back very much of that at all. As always, I'm looking for the flank where the enemy team is going to be pushing in when I'm playing these sorts of cruisers. We can go after the enemy team as they're kiting, but it's always just so much harder to lead targets when they're kiting away. Even with this improved shell velocity, it's still just extremely difficult. So it's well worth thinking about where the enemy team is going. We set up in a strong position to start, just farm over an island basically, but we didn't push their spawn. We realized they were pushing through on the 8, 9, 10 line and positioned ourselves to get ready to receive that push. That is oftentimes what we're wanting to do in these sorts of cruises. It's pretty basic playstyle, but it can work in a vast majority of the games, assuming you don't get caught open water in a game where there are a lot of battleships and their crossfire. Cruisers, as always, get so much stronger in the mid to late game when more of the battleships are not in the game anymore. And yes, Halsey Confed buff means that alongside our arms race game, our DPM goes pretty crazy now. So like 2.5 second reload, something like that, 2.7 seconds. Yeah, the DPM is suddenly there again. I know, arms race games tend to inflate things just a little bit more, but pretty fun time had in Vallejo. I was pleasantly surprised by that, as this is a ship I literally never play, and I don't ever see it played, so I was pretty happy to get a game like this one. And finally, we will swap over to the armor piercing for one salvo, basically. It's solid enough AP, but with IFHE angle targets at range, the AP's only got like 139 mil pen at 10 kilometers, so upper belts of battleships mainly, even into a lot of cruisers, you're going to start shattering at those slightly longer ranges. So HE seems to be the bread and butter of this ship. Certainly worth considering that we got ourselves into a massive down tier in that battle. What if we get into tier 10 with no destroyers? What is going on with this matchmaker? Well, Let's try to get to the island. I will turn away, though, if these planes turn this way. Yeah. Because we have such poor detect here, and I'm noticing the Thunderer looking to run away. Yeah. If we don't have the support on this flank, I don't think that I can just rush this island. I would do it in a lower tier, but at this sort of tier, I'm gonna say we play a little more passive to start. We might get there eventually. Notice the Buffalo leaving, Kronstadt angling towards A. So these are all things that make me think the enemy team might give up on the C-cap. Yeah, okay, we've been detected. So something is here, and we're getting shot at. So who is that? Okay, enemy battleship is here. I don't really want the armor piercing, so we'll go to the HE. Try and burn down a battleship real quick. Oh, he got the stern citadel. Oh, no. So the Pan-European, I forgot the name for a second. Pan-European battleships, not known for their accuracy. Of course, that's who's going to perfectly snipe our stern citadel. Feels bad. So let's maybe do the angling thing, hit the deck armor. Yeah, we take a lot less damage then. Very nice, very nice. He damage controlled our fire, so now we are going to hopefully get the relights. Yes, we do. Nice. Even with IFHE. I mean, we're getting rather fortunate, perhaps, but we'll take it. Oh my goodness. Guys, just take IFHE and then get ridiculously fast fires anyway. All right, this would be my advice. That's crazy. That is very, very fortunate, but you get to see the damage output of this ship. Okay, he's getting some more good hits into us, gotta say. Open water into a battleship focusing on us. Maybe the ship is not as good into that scenario. We'll slow down here. Yeah, our Thunderer is now pushing into the C-cap all alone. A little worried about that. Oh, he got another citadel on us. Okay. I am broadside enough. Fair enough. Okay, so I am playing this rather poorly, apparently. I have disrespected a tier 8 battleship that I have thought to be poor accuracy, and now I am paying the price for it. All right, make sure we angle a little bit more to that. Yeah, there you go. And notice, this is good. This is good. We get to see the downside of this heal. So we get more healing. You know, we get 4 heals, which is really nice, but notice how little of it we can actually get back. All right, we farmed 55k. Good stuff. Now we may turn in and actually get to that island. All right, remember, 18.8 is what we get to. So now we can actually start farming this Vincent rather early. So it's... Okay, you got to respect the battleships a little more than I did there. Call it an AR buff, guys. Call it an AR buff. This was tactical. I wanted my 4-second reload, okay? Here's the fires already. Very nice. Is Vincent going to be turning for us? Looks like it. Looks like it. All right, we'll turn into that. Hopefully our deck armor will have something to say about helping us here. Fully angled in. Yes, that was a bounce. Good work, deck armor. That's what we like to see. Most cruisers are just going to get perma overmatched there, but not us. And the Vincent goes behind the island briefly, so that allows us to go dark. Not going to get greedy to use all of my guns the entire time, because now we definitely need to be angling in. Yeah, look at us. Okay, there's the armor. There's the armor. He's probably wondering, what on earth is happening? I overmatch cruisers, don't I? Not this time, buddy. Not this time. I know it's only a sliver of HP, but I'm going to use it because he's going to shoot at us. Oh, he's not going to shoot it. He gave up. He gave up. Okay. I thought he was going to shoot at us again, so I wanted to use my heal for like a sliver of HP and then heal back whatever overmatch damage he got on us. Because at these ranges, it's going to be a lot less plunging fire, and that's going to do a lot more damage to us. All right, we get the... we do manage to get the Vincent. And now we'll be on the Bridgeport here. So, 90k. Managed to salvage a little something here. And into a kiting cruiser. Suddenly, it's a lot harder to lead, yes. But we can, right? This is situations where I've seen people run range mod spotter plane Worcesters before. I don't think we're hitting things very effectively. I'm still not hitting things very effectively, fair enough, but I do think this ship is much more capable of this sort of thing. Overleading and then I'm underleading. We see Shokaku coming through. Our AA is surprisingly decent, I think. We certainly have D-fires, which will help us out. 6.9 kilometers of range is very, very good for a tier 9 AA ship. Let's see. Maybe we can collect something here. Oh no, we're out of range. That's okay though. We'll get it back in 2 seconds. Should also notice the Schlieffen here. Turrets turn very quickly, allows us to yoink a kill. No, not quite. I would not have deserved that, so good thing we didn't actually collect that one. I assume Bridgeport is going down soon. Ah, maybe not. We had a very good team in this one, so if you have a good team into up tiers, you're gonna get blowouts like this one. Sometimes we'll be on the losing team, sometimes we'll be on the winning team. This is a lot of what higher tier matches look like these days. Perhaps this allows us to feel like we're shooting our guns more often into these sorts of games. Feel like we're having more of an impact, even if there's not a whole lot of our doing that swings the battle one way or another. Okay, that key is basically done. So just the Kronstadt left. Decent little 120k into this one. Take it. Something at really long ranges with cruisers is the aim assist is going to pull your shells low when they start to turn away like that. At least when we have enough shell velocity, like it seems like we do here with the Vallejo, it's not as bad. So again, it allows us to actually hit a little bit easier. We get shot at again, and this time, okay, you got a pen into us. Fair enough. Not always gonna bounce it, as we can see. That's a 1, surprisingly. Maybe people aren't doing so well in this ship, perhaps. Yeah, 1800 as a 1 is rough. Oh yes, now we're into the thick of it. Super ships up tier. It's a main. Mains are scary, guys. Mains are very scary. So, do we push towards the island? I don't think so. I think we either play back here with this island, which we might do. I'm going to try to push up a little bit to help my destroyers. We should notice my concealment is very bad. I'm greedily running a full lighthouse build. I like the rudder shift, and I also want the extra damage on this ship, because that's really our battle impact. I'll show you the build at the end of the video, as usual. But for a ship like this one, I'm going to greed out a bit of a lighthouse build. If you want a lighthouse light cruiser, American light cruiser, probably this is the one to go for. There's better options, though, I would say still. But again, fun to play a ship that I never see. I never play this ship. So we're having a good time, even with potential weird matchmaker like this. Yeah, we get spotted. This is why we like the rudder shift. And are we going to get shot at? Probably. Looks like our Vermont is a bit of a slow load into this one. Not gonna get shot at? Okay. Oh, there it is. Or maybe not shot at yet, but Azumo! That's someone we can play against. And instantly, he's within range. And it's Yamagiri! Nice. Good work, Mr. Humphreys. Although, wouldn't it be nice to have a radar? Oh, we can do some cringe blind fire, shall we? Get our battle impact that way. He is reversing. Okay, so we can keep doing that. Yeah, a little bit of cringe blind fire. Okay, Izumo's up. Let's go after him. May as well. Hopefully our Humphreys doesn't eat those torpedoes. We need to be on it to help our Humphreys as soon as he spots them. Yeah. Although, never mind. Okay, he got him with the torp. Our fire will take him out. Cool. And now Humphreys is dealing with the Izumo shooting at him. Interesting. He'll smoke, sure. So now we're probably the one spotting. Maybe Burrows. Burrows is smoking as well. Okay, so we're the one spotting. I'm going to stop. I don't want to go in front of this smoke for the Izumo, because he'll go dark if that happens, I think. As will we, though. Oh, he's still got his 20-second detection from shooting, I think. Maybe Zhao's. Oh, Vermont would be spotting. Silly me. Yeah. Don't forget about the Vermont. Oh, man, nice shot. All right, we had some very good DDs on this flank. That's a massive, massive help, allowing us to actually deal a bit of damage into those destroyers, help them out. But, you know, not having a radar means that we're very reliant on the destroyers for spotting, right? So this is why a flank is going rather well into high tier. You're not always going to be guaranteed that. In fact, a lot of the time I would say you're not going to have the most reliable destroyer support. And no shade at the ships community for destroyers, but it's just a hard class to play. Okay, it is just a very hard class to play. And that's one of the reasons that I do very much enjoy playing the Worcester line, Des Moines line. It's really nice to be able to spot those destroyers for yourself and have that sort of battle impact. Oh, interesting. He was on the HE. Doesn't want to use his 457 overmatch. I can get behind that. We'll get behind this next island here. Enemy Worcester, kind of our counterpart, although again a lot higher DPM. Okay, we are out of extra range for a bit of a second here. It's so nice to have it come back quickly though. There it is. And we get a lot of these, not unlimited. Notice we only have well, 3 left after this one into this battle. So you do have to ration them a bit, but I would recommend that you just spam them early because, like I said, cruisers get better into the late game. It's a lot easier to play a Vallejo without the range buff into late game World of Warships, if that happens and it's not just a blowout. Whereas trying to conserve them in early game, it's hard. It's really hard. Getting spotted here might be a bad idea if the Worcester pokes out to farm us. Fort Worth perhaps as well. I want to help finish off this Thunderer though. Our Humphreys getting the flank like this will be really, really good. Nice, we get the fire, that's big. Yeah, and the Worcester's here now to farm us. So hopefully we go dark behind this island. Excellent. I do see that the Fort Worth is behind this island, so don't have to worry about his AP for now. There's a John Bart on his way back. Okay, that's a little spooky. It's fine though. Or it's less fine because now the Zhao is dead. Fair enough. I am not going to stay in a spot where that John Bart can actually get the shots on us. So we're pushed up to an island. But now we're in a bit of a tough spot, I guess.
Problem solved, sir.
We'll see. Maybe we can get some shots still. Jean Bart I'll look for. I'm hoping Thunderer can be taken out by our Vermont. They might be a little bit focused on our Vermont pushing, perhaps. We'll see. Oh, we got the middle flank. We got a middle push Hanover. Okay, well, this Jean Bart is in a world of hurt then. As is the Worcester. We have prop mods, that's why I'm willing to greed this out just a little bit here. Watch Jean Bart guns. Okay. We're kind of mostly aiming at Worcester, but my eyes are over on at the Jean Bart, okay? Because if he turns, then we need to accelerate. He's kind of preoccupied though, as is Worcester, it seems. Yeah, it's hard to ignore that Hanover middle push. Our team otherwise has not been doing so hot, I would say. Is Fort Worth gonna shoot us? No, he isn't. Nice. All right, can I get this Worcester, please? 200 HP. Oh, he's got the Citadels on us. I didn't think he had the pen. Oh, that's scary. And now we've got very little healing left. And the Thunderer, by the way, is still alive. Okay. 112 into this one so far. I think we have some opportunity to collect a bit more. We'll use the spotter for the range into this Thunder, but also just to see over the mountain a lot better. Maybe we can farm him down here quickly, and then get onto the Jean Bart. All right, we don't have any more spots into the Thunder until he shoots, perhaps? Or we get the fire. That's a huge fire to get. And he shoots. Wow, look at our Hanover mid push. Crazy. Thunderer damage controlled. So if we get a lucky fire here, that might get them lit. Oh, I thought we were having the comeback, but it doesn't look like it's going to be happening. Oh, I thought I would go dark here. Interesting. I'm still lit. Where is that from? Probably right here, if I had to guess. So I wouldn't be surprised if Humphreys is going to get into a fight soon with the Shima. Thunder opens up, so let's try to take him out. He just shot, so I'm willing to make this turn. Part of that is also I want to turn into, yeah, get an angle on the Shima and help on that fight. He didn't go forward. Fair enough. And the Thunder is out of our range. Okay, so I'm not quite having the impact I wanted. We needed to clean this flank up a little quicker than we have been. Shima is the one spotting us right now. I am pretty scared of where the main might be right now. Yeah. Yeah. A little spooky.
Spotter returning to ship.
Whoa, nice torps from our Humphreys. Minotaur. I should go dark once we kill this Thunderer, though. 20! 20! I do not, because the Destroyer is spotting me now. I need to try and cut angle. Here's the main shot. Now the torps. We see some of them. Unfortunately, we don't see all of them. A Hydra would be pretty good here. I think I can dodge that. Nice. Minnow on our flank. He's going to be scared to come out because of the Vermont, I think. We got to keep trying to juke the main shot here. And we need to help on that. Did main lead enough, do you think? Looks like the answer is not quite. I'm too focused on dodging. I'm not aiming. Oh, come on, please. What? That missed? How did that miss? Die. Yeah, okay, we're dead. Oh, we tried to bring it back. Vallejo's not bad. I do think an extra radar, too, could have been nice. But for a tier 9 light cruiser, we did what we could, as Vermont is going to eat the full torpedo salvo there. This, of course, being the problem with playing a tier 9 ship in World of Warships these days, is you get up tiered a lot, and depending on your skill level, you're often forced to carry ships that are 2 tiers higher than you, which is a difficult task. It is a very difficult task. So if you're not feeling up to that, tier 9 is not the best tier to play these days, which is maybe why I don't play it as often, and why I don't play Vallejo as often either. Here is the build that I was using. Very greedy for that lighthouse, but like I said, this is our battle impact, so we are trying to stay alive through maneuverability and some of the healing, and then just trying to maximize the damage output from these main guns, because that's really all we have to deal with the enemy team. Here is that armor layout. Very interesting to have a light cruiser with 38mm deck armor. 25 upper belt, 25 bow stern, and as we saw, if we're firing all of our main guns, and the battleship with its incredible accuracy on the most accurate tier 8, no. The RNG of battleship salvos can sometimes just hit you right here, and then you take the citadels anyway. So you don't heal very much of that back. It's a weird ship. It's a different ship. I don't see it ever, so interesting to take a look at it today. Certainly not recommended, though. Steel, there's a lot better ships you can get, and steel is rather hard to collect in this game. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.